In case the title wasn't clear enough, here's 5 tips for new players hopping into the First Berserker Khazan. Let's get the most important one out of the way. After the very first boss, and not really a spoiler, I'll just say he has something to do with ice. But like when you beat him, you'll know the boss. You can then set the difficulty for the game. I know it's a Souls-like. That's not the norm, especially if you've played any of the FromSoft games. Difficulty settings is non-existent, but in Khazan it is. So after you defeat that first boss, cutscene will play, of course, and a screen will pop up showing, hey, you can continue to play on normal, or you can set it to easy. Now, what you do in this moment matters. If you continue to play on normal, good, awesome, have fun. At any point in the future, you can downgrade to easy. You can then say, all right, I'm sweating a little too much, let's put it on easy. But you can't go back. So from the moment you set it to easy, you're now playing on easy. If you want to set it back to normal, you have to start over. So you can't change it to easy to beat a boss and then change it back to normal until you hit the next boss. Whatever you select, you're stuck with. Number 2, brutal attacks. Always use them. Never miss an opportunity. Now you might say, what's a brutal attack? After you break down an enemy's stamina, it's the little bar below their health bar, they will enter an exhausted state where a little red symbol will pop up and it'll drain, almost like a timer. You have until that circle completely drains to execute a brutal attack, like a special animation. It'll do extra damage. It's really flashy, but it also refills your stamina and a little bit of health. So if you're just on the last string of the fight, you're out of heals, make sure you execute all of these brutal attacks. And if you're really on top of it, you can execute normal attacks. You can just wail on him until the very last second of that timer and then execute the attack just to get some extra damage in. Now, speaking of bosses, number 3, the bosses step up the difficulty times like 10. Now, I'm not exaggerating here. I played the demo 6 or 7 times. I was sprinting through that. And there are a couple of bosses that are tricky, but it didn't feel as drastic. Once you get past that first boss, the difficulty step up is massive. Massive. The bosses in the demo, I never fought more than 2 or 3 times. The first boss after the period that you play in the demo, it's like times 15 the difficulty. You're going through the area, you're destroying enemies, you're getting your lacrima, which is the souls, kind of the currency to level up. You're feeling good, like, oh yeah, I'm getting gear, I'm new weapons, let's party. And that boss will curb stomp you into the ground to where you're now sitting at home talking to your mom, questioning your life choices. They are insane. So be patient. I suggest taking the first couple of rounds. If you're new to this series or if you're a veteran, you probably already know this. Take the first couple of tries at a boss as just a learning experience. Say, okay, I'm not here to win. I'm here to watch his moves. I'm going to dodge and block if possible, but I'm not going to try to win. I just need to figure out his moveset. What does he do? You know, does he have a phase 2? Does he transition and use elemental attacks? Does he go ranged? Just use that first couple of rounds as a learning experience for the boss. It will help. Number 4. Now, technically, you can parry damn near anything in this game. Unless it has an unblockable symbol, which there's also an ability you unlock to where you can block that, but I digress. If the enemy is using an elemental attack, if your enemy lights their sword on fire, or you can see that they're covered in ice, if you can tell that this attack is going to be an elemental-based attack, dodge it. You might be tempted like, no, I want to parry, because parrying regenerates your spirit, which is the energy you use to use abilities. So the more spirit you have, the more abilities you can use. But when you parry or block an elemental attack, you still take the elemental damage, and it builds up the bar. So if you take enough fire hits, you're going to be lit on fire, and then your health is going to progressively go down. So you need to dodge elemental attacks and parry non-elemental attacks. And of course, if there's a grab, dodge. You can't parry a grab, obviously. There's nothing to parry. Just dodge the elemental attacks, all right? Dodge them. Now, finally, number 5. If you're paying attention, there's a lot of loot. Enemies drop a lot of stuff, whether it be throwables or heals or, hey, this element lights your weapon on fire, whatever. When you're in an area, on your way to the final boss, make sure you stock up your little tool belt, your quick use items, with the items you've picked up in that level. Because let's say you're about to fight a fire boss. Chances are, and by chances are, I mean the level will drop as long as you're paying attention and picking everything up, fire resistance or cures the fire ailment. So whatever boss you're going to fight, the level will drop consumables for you to use during that fight, but you got to make sure to pick them up. You got to make sure to equip them before you start the fight. Trust me, they will help. Otherwise, these bosses will destroy you. Bonus item, there are hidden walls. There are fake walls just like in Elden Ring or FromSoft games. Here's one right here. It's at the hub. This isn't a spoiler. It's just, it leads to a cool, armor set. So I'm going to put it up on screen right now. You just walk up these stairs, go to this wall that it's going to look fake. It's going to look empty, and just roll against it. Because you don't have your weapons in the hub, like your little fortress that you go back to. So just roll into the wall and then go and open this chest. You get a full armor set. Hooray. I hope these tips were helpful. Go down. Let me know what you think of the First Berserker Khazan. I'm loving it. It's whooping my ass, but I'm having a good time. At some point you're just, all right, breathe, take it slow. The patience factor is what really hurts me. I'm just like, I want to rush through. You got to slow down. You got to take a drink of your coffee. You got to hydrate, maybe have a snack, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So go down and comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. Because if you haven't, why not? Why not? Why aren't you subscribed? Don't you want more tips? Don't you want to see more stuff? Don't you want to talk more gaming? Then I suggest you subscribe and comment. Tell me what you're liking the most. Tell me if you didn't like it. You downloaded the demo and you're like, this is ass. I want to hear why. You know what I mean? And I'll see you in the next one.